What is going on, guys? OneEyedBandit back again with a Jump Force video, and this is actually a rant. I'm gonna be straight up honest with you guys about this game real quick, man. I just hopped on to try to actually play, so what you're seeing in the background is me playing. I win the first match, lose the second one, and then win the last one. And I gotta tell you guys, man, this game is just like it hurts my soul, because this is how most anime games are these days. Like, it's funny, I'm dropping this video the same day as the Xenoverse 2 patch that just came out, and that patch is actually going to do a lot for the game. I noticed like a lot of things are gone, even though they kept a few things and made a few things more powerful than they should be. But Xenoverse is, like, to me, going to be the high standard of an anime game. They are actually doing things, you know, a lot better than these other anime games that are basically just copy and pasting the same game. Xenoverse, all it needs to do is fix the netcode, and it's the best anime game of all time. It already pretty much really is, with the customization that's in it, and you know, people keep buying it and going back to it. That's the reason they keep dropping DLC for it. It's because it's successful, and that makes sense. But then you give us a game like Jump Force that is complete and utter dog trash from the very beginning. I'm talking like the very moment the game was released, we noticed it was just complete and utter dog shit. I mean, from the story mode being trash, super trash, not being able to skip cutscenes at first, and how the game looked. Basically, the story looked unfinished. The game itself looks unfinished. I mean, a lot of people were already turned off from the game simply at the fact that because it looks like just a bunch of wax figures slapping each other. And I mean, to be fair, I decided to give the game a chance. I was excited for it, yes. And then it came out and I noticed, wow, this is absolutely awful. So what ended up happening was, you know, I started playing it, and you know, I ended up putting out a bunch of build videos, build video this, build video that, how to make an OP this, how to make an OP that, and you know, doing that, I'm like, okay, this gets me views, and I'm alright with that. But then I noticed, man, this is absolutely too easy. I noticed, wow, there's not really much depth in this game. I noticed if I hit a button and somebody uses their ultimate, I get, you know, I get hurt for it. Like that, like that's kind of dumb to me. And then I noticed like they don't really like you chaining long combos that much. Like even like getting on today, I noticed like some of my old combos didn't work. So you know, I had to improvise, and you'll see that in the background of this video. I mean, it's not like of course I can shell out a lot of damage and all that stuff, but this game, obviously they don't like infinite combos and stuff like that, and I don't know what is wrong with that, because obviously Xenoverse still has infinite combos, yet they do it right. This game just does everything absolutely wrong, and it hurts my soul, because this is an anime game with like damn near all of your favorite characters in it. Granted, even the DLC has, you know, it turned off a lot of people. Like, I'm not personally buying the DLC. You can if you want to, but I'm not supporting a game that just, you know, is just dog crap. And obviously they're releasing, you know, a new One Punch Man video game, and that's okay and all, but the fact that it's basically going to be the same as this, the same as the My Hero Academia game that came out. They're all the same. So technically this is really a rant for you know, video games like this. Like Xenoverse, I'm perfectly fine with that, but a game like this I just can't stand. Like I'm to the point where, like, yes, I enjoyed it, and I might sound like, you know, a hypocrite for not enjoying it now, but the fact of the matter is that they released a game that is just absolutely awful, and they aren't listening to their consumers, and it just doesn't make any sense, because one of the main things that we have been asking for literally since day one is a rematch button. And it's almost a year later, and that rematch button is nowhere to be found. Is it a year later? I mean, probably not. A couple months later, like 6 months maybe. Like, I have no idea. I don't even know when the game came out anymore. All I know is we've asked for a rematch button and still don't have one. What fighting game do you know doesn't have a rematch feature? Like, that just doesn't make any sense to me. The most you see in this game is a bunch of loading screens. Who wants to sit through loading screens for however long? That we're literally marching into the future. Video games should cut down on loading screens as much as freaking possible. And here you have this game that throws them at you every 3 seconds. Why is there a loading screen for literally clicking on every single button damn near? Like, it just doesn't make sense. It just doesn't make sense. The customization is okay. It could be better, but then you have your CACs who look terrible. They don't have any emotion. It just throws me off. I'm like, this is a real rant video right now because this game could have been something good. It's like a really, really, really bad, dumbed down version of Xenoverse 2, and like, it could have been well. They almost have the same formula, but even Xenoverse 2 knows when to Xenoverse 2 doesn't have as many load screens as this game has. Granted, you know, when the game came out, they realized, oh, our load screens are pretty, you know, they're pretty up there. We should tone them down a little bit. So obviously they made load screens a little bit quicker, and I was okay with that. But to me, it wasn't enough, you know, because even though we had the load screens, we still have, you know, no rematch button. Why is it that when I want to fight a friend, you know, I go to fight a friend, we can only fight, you know, one time, a best of 5 matches, you know? So basically first to 3, and the minute the match is over, we have to back out, go back, invite each other again. Why is that a thing? Why can't I automatically just rematch my friend? Why isn't it like Xenoverse where you're in a hub world? That's the funny thing about this, because they kind of want it to be like Xenoverse. There is this big hub world, but even when you go to fight a friend, Xenoverse has this thing where, you know, even though you can't rematch right away, it kicks you back out to this lobby where you're still with your friend, and all you have to do is hit rematch again. That makes sense to me. Whereas this game, no, we don't. We would rather you not. We'd rather you just keep playing, you know, a quick match over and over. And don't even get me started on those. To this day, I literally played this game just now. You know, the 3 fights that you saw were my first 3 matches in months. And the fact that I tried to play ranked and still have yet not been able to play ranked, I feel like I'm the only person in the world that hasn't been able to. Every time I go to play ranked, it tells me there's a communication error, and that doesn't make sense to me because I know so many people who have been able to play ranked. I felt like I was pretty good at this game, and the fact that I wasn't able to show it through my rank really peeved me a little bit. So the fact that I still have to this day not been able to play ranked that kills me probably the most out of everything. The game is very, very stale. They can release DLC all they want, but it's not like a true fighting game. It's not like a you know, Mortal Kombat or Dragon Ball FighterZ where a new character actually refreshes the game. Even though it's cool, you know, it's still the same game just with a new character added on. The balance changes don't really do much for it because the core mechanics are still dog shit. So when a game like FighterZ gets a new character, everybody's practicing this character. You have so much more depth that can go into this character. You can practice that character. Same thing with a game like Mortal Kombat. Any real fighting game will let you know that, because that's what real fighting games rely on the most, is a new character that can hopefully revamp the game, and it changes the landscape of the game. Like Dragon Ball GT Goku right now has changed the landscape of Dragon Ball FighterZ. People are terrified of that character. But when somebody adds, you know, a character like All Might to the game, All Might, he looks terrifying, by the way, in this game. Even though he's added, it's like, okay, cool, we're just gonna keep hitting square anyway, and when my opponent hits a button, I'll use my ultimate and get a decent amount of damage. That's basically it. New character, cool, but it doesn't change anything. They don't change anything. I think that's what's wrong with this game the most, and that is why I'm ranting about it, because it is literally dog shit served on a plate to look like, you know, decent food, and it's just not. And I don't understand why they keep releasing these types of games. Like that One Punch Man game, I would love to have it because maybe it could be good, but I know it's going to turn out exactly like this. Same thing with it, like it's just like One Piece Burning Blood. I'm pretty sure made by the same people. I don't get why they keep slapping these games in the face. They keep slapping us in the face and giving us these shitty games that just irk our souls, because it just, like, as a person who loves anime, to have not one game that embodies an anime correctly. Fighters is amazing. But I don't count that as an anime game. But to not have even Xenoverse, I love Xenoverse, so I'm not even gonna lump that in with these. But to not have a real good anime game like that can rival something like, you know, Spider-Man PS4, God of War, there is no such thing, and I don't think there ever will be, and that just saddens me to my core. And Jump Force just ain't it, Chief. So that's really all I have to say about this game. This was a really long rant, but I just needed to get it off my chest because I wanted this game to be good. I really did, but this is probably my literally final Jump Force video, unless you guys give me a bunch of likes and views. So if you want like some build videos for it, I'll give you those, but that's completely up to you guys. So if you guys enjoyed this video, please like, comment, and subscribe. Remember that God and anime are always on your side. That's all I got for y'all, man. Peace out.
Yeah.